I'm from a grimy era, let's talk about it. Gotta keep a pole, can't walk without it. Did some things in the streets, but I won't talk about it. Seen some things in the streets, but I won't talk about it. I'm from a hood that's thorough, they don't play here. And they don't play on these blocks, it ain't a daycare. A new kid gets shot every day here. I guess that's why my heart colder than the rain there. dvderatv back at y'all with another one. Y'all know the slogan. Let's get straight into this one. Now, the rap of the game is no stranger when it comes to having issues with other rappers. He done had feuds with 50 Cent and G-Unit, Beanie Siegel, Meek Mill, Memphis Bleak, and the list goes on. But in today's video, we gonna speak on a situation the game will have with another LA rapper, Ras Kass, where things got physical. Now, if you're not familiar with Ras Kass, he's a rapper from Los Angeles, California. Ras Kass is very popular on the West Coast and would get his big break in 1996, dropping his first solo album for Soul on Ice and his sophomore album just 2 years later for Assassination under Priority Records. Ras was also a member of the Horsemen, which includes Cannabis, Killer Priest, and Corrupt. Ras will have problems with his record label and face legal issues for DUI and spend over a year and a half in jail. Once Ras Kass was released, he'll jump back in the mixtape scene dropping music. In 2005, Ras will put out his mixtape for Institutionalized, and on a record called Caution, Ras says, "See, you was raised to run. Get 1,000 tattoos won't raise your gun. So when you get murked, I'ma raise your son." And being that the game was the hottest rapper on the West at the time, and he just put out his Like Father Like Son record off his documentary album, he felt like these balls was aimed for him. Now, while Ras Kass was on tour with Rakim, the game would see Ras Kass in an LA nightclub, and according to the game, when the night ended, he would approach Ras Kass to ask him about his lines he said on Caution, but Ras Kass would brush him off, and according to the game, he would punch Ras Kass and knock him out.
I looked in his face, asked him about 3 questions, he said something wrong, and I knocked his ass out.
Now, when Ras Kass is asked about this situation, he says the game had 30 guys with him that night, and they jumped him and one of his homies, but he never was knocked out.
I'll tell you what you did to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, I got a little black guy. 30 against 2.
Now, Ras Kass would drop a diss track coming at the game after this altercation called Hush Little Baby. Now, on his track, Ras admits that the game hit him in the head from behind with a bottle. Now, jump in my comment section and let me know who y'all feel telling the truth. Do y'all feel like the game approached Ras Kass man to man and knocked Ras Kass out when he began to be disrespectful? Or do y'all feel like the game approached Ras with 30 of his guys, hit him in the head with the bottle, and jumped Ras? Let me know in the comment section. Now, Ras Kass would continue to come at the game and drop another diss record called Game Over, and also he came at the game on his King of the West song off his Eat or Die mixtape in 2006. The game would never respond to Ras Kass on wax, but these two would send shots at one another whenever the other one name is brought up in an interview. Now, it's said that things would get physical again between Game and Ras in 2011. Now, supposedly Game and Ras will be in the same club on New Year's Eve, and the two will have a physical altercation. Now, the game would make a tweet about this situation and say, "Gave Ras Kass a 2-piece nugget meal in the club the other night. He went down in the first round like the last time. Same soft chin, different clothes." And Ras Kass will make a tweet about this situation as well. He says, 2011 starts out right. Me and the game had a rumble. Do wait, you don't punch and run. We got the pick. Happy New Year's. Now, one thing I want to say, anytime these two have an altercation, they have two completely different stories. So jump in my comment section and tell me who y'all think is telling the truth. Do you think the game is telling the truth? Now, he got a reputation for not being so honest. So let me know who y'all feel telling the truth, Ras Kass or the game. But luckily, this beef was years ago, and I'm quite sure that it's all swept under the rug, and it's behind them, and they passed it. Nobody got hurt seriously, and nobody was killed or whatever, so I'm quite sure they can move on from it. Now we go get into this story that happened at the end of the DVD era, one of the stories that was big at the time, but seemed like it fades away as years go on. Now in 2015, Suge Knight will have an altercation with street actor Bone. Now if you're not familiar with actor Bone, he's from Los Angeles, California, and he's known as a member of the Bloods. Bone is also an actor who played in movies like Brooklyn Finest, Bright with Will Smith, Street Kings, Tears of the Sun, and his most popular role in Training Day when Bone tells Denzel Washington, "You gotta put your own work in around here." Now, according to Bone, he said he was on set doing some kind of production for the Straight Outta Compton movie, and Suge ended up coming there to either be paid or talk about some business he had. But Suge Knight ended up scaring the production crew, and they decided to shut production down before Bone would approach Suge. Now, supposedly, a minor altercation goes down with Bone and Suge Knight, ending with Bone calling out Suge for a fight.
Me and Blood had words, and Blood called me a like, Blood, we gotta get down.
Now, it's said that Suge would leave the set, with Bone leaving not too long after him. Now, after leaving the set, Bone would then spot Suge in a Tam's restaurant parking lot. As he approached Suge, Bone would overhear Suge saying what he was going to do to him. Now, at this point, Bone is really upset, so he decides to park his car and go approach Suge. As he approached Suge, it's said that he swung on Suge and punched him, and Suge would try to escape, rolling over Bone and Terry Carter, who died from his injuries.
Yeah, I wasn't saving Dre, the production, white people, nothing. But Dre appreciated me punching on Blood.
Now, it's also versions of this story saying that Bone may have pulled the gun out on Suge, and that's why Suge was in so much fear, leaving him running over Bone and Terry Carter. Now, it's also said that Terry Carter was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and him and Suge was actually cool, and Suge never meant to hit him with his car. Now, Suge Knight will be arrested for these hit and run charges January 30th, 2015. Now, Bone will also be subpoenaed to come to court April 2015 and take the stand against Suge, but Bone refused to snitch and give any information that had sent Suge to jail. He also refused to identify Suge as the man behind the wheel who struck him with the car, but Bone did admit that he punched the driver through the window first before being ran over by the truck. Now, an audio was also played in court with Bone admitting he fought Suge on the set of Straight Outta Compton before attacking him at Tam's Burger. Now, even though the picture was painted that Bone was the aggressor, and Bone even admitted to being the aggressor, in September 2018, Suge pled no contest to voluntary manslaughter and was sentenced to 28 years in prison. Now, Bone suffered 2 fractured ankles, a serious cut to his head, 2 torn ligaments in his knees, and a shoulder injury. And of course, Terry Carter lost his life after being ran over by Suge. Now, after all of this took place, Bone would admit being paid after this incident with Suge Knight by Dr. Dre.
Yeah, but Dre appreciated me punching on Blood. Blood hit me off.
Now, let this be a lesson to all my guys in the street. Suge Knight had a reputation for a long time of being this big, scary dude from the 90s to the early 2000s. Now, what that does is leaves the door open for somebody else that's tough to try you and put you in a position where you got to defend yourself, where you could end up in jail for the rest of your life. So at some point, you got to leave that street mentality alone, think smarter, and make better choices. Now, as the DVD era was making a transition into the internet blog sites like worldstarhiphop.com, I'll be introduced to the Philly rapper Tone Trump. Now, around 2009 and 2010, Tone Trump would be heavy on Sub-Zero DVDs, who had the DVD game on lock at the time. And he also was dropping videos on WorldStar back-to-back, creating a buzz for himself. Now, Tone Trump wasn't the most lyrical and most talented artist out of Philly at the time, but he definitely was consistent and entertaining. Now, after years of grinding, Young Jeezy would jump on Tone Trump's Street single in 2011 and would eventually sign the Young Jeezy CTE record label in 2012. But Tone Trump being signed to Young Jeezy would be shortly lived because Tone Trump thought it would be best if he wasn't signed to another rapper.
I don't want to be in a situation where I have a rapper overtopping what I'm doing anyway. I don't want to be under none of the greats. I want to compete with the greats.
But before Tone Trump was signed to Young Jeezy and his rap career take off, he'll find himself in a back and forth with Math Hoffa. Now, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know who Math is a famous battle rapper and now YouTuber. Now, Math was mostly known in the DVD era for battling and being a battle rapper to put hands on people. Now, during Math Hoffa battle with T-Rex on the URL, T-Rex mentioned Tone Trump in one of his rounds and basically say, "I'll call Tone Trump and know my bulls from Philly. They'll give you dum-dums just for talking silly." Now, Math will rebuttal T-Rex saying basically he on some Tone Trump shit, foolery with the jewelry. You know, basically saying T-Rex jewelry is fake like Tone Trump. Now, I'm not sure if that was an on-the-spot rebuttal or it was just a coincidence that both of them mentioned Tone Trump in their rhymes. But nevertheless, that line started back and forth with Math and Tone Trump. Now, in the blog, Tone Trump will respond to Math lines by saying, he ain't on my level. I bet he won't have a paid show in Philly. Don't got time for bums ninjas. Now, Math will also respond to Tone Trump with a track saying he'll smack the shit out of Tone Trump. Now, it will be a few more back and forth jabs by Math and Tone Trump. Then they'll eventually run into each other in person. Now, Tone Trump and Math will run into each other at SOBs in the city, and supposedly it's said that Math approached Tone Trump when he got off stage from performing and slapped him, which turned into an all-out brawl.
One thing that I did respect is he came to me. The one thing I always respected is he boarded. He boarded.
Now, Math MYB member and battle rapper Cortez, who was there when the whole situation went down, had this to say at an interview with ForbesDVD.com.
Oh, he slapped shit out of Tone Trump. He slapped fire out there. Because we was all fighting out there.
Now, according to Cortez, after Math smacked Tone Trump, there'd be a little brawl that happens. Now, when Tone Trump was asked about the situation during his Queen's Flip interview, he never denies being slapped by Math, but he also let it be known that he put up a fight as well, and he also feels like he won this whole situation. Now, Tone Trump even goes on to say that Math is not being completely honest with the whole situation, and he's spinning a narrative of what really happened. Now, I guess this whole situation is far behind these guys and it's water under the bridge. You know, Tone Trump is living very righteous as a Muslim brother. And, you know, Math is doing the whole My Expert Opinion podcast, which is very successful on YouTube right now. Now, like I said, when I touch on these stories, it's not to throw fuel on the fire. It's actually just to entertain y'all with these old hip-hop stories and actually show you how much these artists involved with these situations has grown. Because most of the stories I touch on, either the artists squash their beef or they move on from it without anybody being seriously hurt. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, if you're a fan of these old hip-hop stories, tell a friend and tell a friend about my page. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'm out. 1.